Hello, baby.
Hello, nasty. Hello there.
Hello.
I say hello.
Hello, friend.
Well, hello, little girl.
Hello, my treacherous friends.
Hello, operator. The beginning of everything. Welcome back, my friends. It's showtime.
Hey everybody, welcome to episode 281 of The Brink of Sanity. It is almost time for the Brink of Sanity 300 special.
Oh, speaking of that, I have a good idea what we could do.
Wait
Okay.
a second. Bry.
Yes.
Okay, go with your idea.
Well, now, I have an idea for the 300 show, but I know Jay's going to reject it out of hand because he's going to say it's the same as every other show. But I think
But hang on. Bry is going to... It says all three of us should get loaded.
No.
Okay, can we try to guess your idea?
Sure.
Okay.
Jay, Mark already guessed, so Jay, you can go.
Let's see, if it's like every show, the three of us have an hour and a half long conversation with little or no prep beforehand. Is that it?
Wait,
Nope.
hang on. Let me try. The psychic joins us.
No.
The psychic balloon that you follow, that like somehow went around your house, that joins us.
You're getting colder.
Okay.
All three of our significant others do a podcast instead of us.
No, I said you're going to say it's like every show that we already do. That's not every other show we already do.
Okay. We make fun of Jay for his failed video editing career.
Warmer.
Oh, Jay's gonna like this.
I do a live video edit, and you guys critique it while I'm doing it.
Colder.
Wait, Jay fails the CPA on the show.
Colder.
Okay, tell us.
Okay.
We should do a roast.
We've done a roast before,
Oh, we have?
episode
Have we?
50, and I thought it went pretty well.
Who's on the show?
Martin, Peter, the Doc.
Anybody cares about.
It was like the old Brink crew.
Oh, all the old crew that you fired.
I didn't fire. Well, okay.
But I figured Jay would say that we do that every show because we usually just roast him for an hour.
Yeah, well, I feel like we roast each other to a certain extent. I kind of agree. We kind of make fun of each other. I don't want to lose all our material for the rest of the year.
I mean, an official roast might be pretty good though.
And we get the listeners involved.
Aren't the listeners being involved? Aren't you talking about the emails we get where Rosero
true.
roasts us, or not Rosero? MVP of email roast us.
That's not a bad idea though.
Lorenzo, do you want to roast? How about we ask everyone just to make fun of us, and we can read all instead of asking questions, we ask the listeners to roast us.
Before we go any farther, I just want to say something. It's Monday, August 14th right now. Everybody who's listening to this before Thursday the 17th, message Jay, email Jay, and tell him he has to come to the baseball game with us.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay, so Bry has.
So back to the
tickets-
roast.
Hang on. So Bry has tickets to the Met game on Thursday. He has
Subway
two-
Series, baby.
Subway Series, Mets versus Yankees. I know Jay could give a crap about baseball. It's the equivalent of the. I guess it's kind of like the Knicks playing the Nets.
Yeah, only one team is usually good and one team's usually bad.
Well, that and like the Mets and Yankees both have actual fans, and the Nets don't really have fans.
Okay, the Knicks playing the Celtics.
Okay.
But whatever. It's a big deal. Even if the Mets are really bad, but it's still a big deal if they win these games. I mean, it doesn't really matter. There's no real bragging rights, but we want to win these games. And so in all the years we've done this show, Jay and Bry go back a long, long time. They met in the womb, but I've been doing the show for Bry a long time. Bry and I have yet to meet in person. Both of us we're separated by one person. That's Jay, and so
We're friends-in-law.
We're friends-in-law, yes. And so it would be nice if Jay comes to introduce us in person. Jay,
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure it would. I already said no. I had.
So Jay, we'll see you there.
Especially since I'm going with my dad.
Your dad's cool. I like your dad.
Yeah,
So
my
is
dad-
it? So is it going to be an awkward blind date, Bry?
I don't think so. I mean, we'll just watch the game.
Are you going to put out in front
Probably
of your dad?
not. I doubt it.
I doubt it.
Is there anything weird about like that? I've never actually like I'm gonna try to figure out who you are when we get to the game, and yet we're gonna sit and watch the game together.
I mean, you guys have
Well,
talked.
I'll be wearing my 7-line shirt that has my last name on the back of it. So
I'm gonna be like, I don't recognize. Like, I have facial blindness, so I'm gonna have to look for your name.
I mean, you guys have talked for hundreds of hours at this point, so it's not like it's not like a random person hangout. Like, you guys kind of know each other.
We're gonna sit next to each other and be like, so you live around here?
I took my girlfriend to the game last week, and we didn't talk for the whole game. We were just watching the game. She got mad at me because I was talking to like all the people around me, and I didn't introduce her to any of them. And I was like, when we left, I was like, but I don't know any of their names, so it was kind of hard to.
When she was like, why didn't you talk to me? Did you say, learn something about baseball and I'll talk to you?
No, she likes baseball actually.
Oh, so you just root to her.
Surprising. No, we were just like, she just sat there and didn't do anything, and I was just joking around with some of the people around me because there's a lot of yelling and cursing and stuff that goes on in the section where we are. So.
Did you say you're boring everyone?
What if me and your dad get along better than me and you? Could we replace your dad? Could your dad come on the podcast and replace you?
I'm not going to your house with no ants in it. I'll tell you that much.
So Jay, should I do this? Should I do this date?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, cool.
I mean, maybe it'll get it out of your guys' system so you could stop talking about baseball for a second.
I don't think so.
Yeah, it'll probably just
Brian,
make it worse.
what do you think about? Are you excited about the team with the young guys? With
All right,
Rivera
we're not
and, Dom
doing
Smith?
this. You guys have guys have an entire date plan to do this. So now we don't need to do it on the show this week.
It's true.
Do you think we'll have a lot of adventures then from the show to talk about?
Hopefully.
Maybe.
I mean, I had a literal nervous breakdown last week, so that's why I am not doing any extracurricular activities.
Can I ask your dad why you take your shirt off to go to the bathroom, or is that not something I should ask right away?
I'm not sure if he knows I do that, so.
I have a feeling he wouldn't.
So
be
anyway,
surprised,
Jay.
though.
So what about this nervous breakdown?
Jay, tell us about how you almost died.
I woke up last Thursday in the middle of the night, and the entire room was spinning, and I had not been drinking, and that didn't go away for about 2 days.
The room was spinning for 2 days?
Pretty much.
Maybe you were in withdrawals because you guys hadn't done a Brink show in like 3 weeks.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think Rosero would say that's true.
He'd probably say I deserve it for not recording.
Wait, I thought you woke up, you had some spins and went back to bed. You're saying you had this for 2 days?
Well, yeah, I went back to bed, but then I woke up and it was still like that.
Did you go to work?
No, I called in on Friday. And of course, when you call in on a Friday, everyone thinks you're lying, but the room was really spinning.
Oh, Jay, what are you doing for the weekend? Going to AC? No, I'm having a breakdown. I'm gonna cry in a corner all weekend. Jay, you should have just said AC.
Yeah, so that was fun. And then, I went to the doctor. I got blood work done, and
Go on.
so he calls me like later in the week, like 3 or 4 days later, and he's like, "Oh, everything's fine, but you had a little bit of blood in your urine. I don't think it was bladder cancer though." And I'm like, "Oh, I never even thought to think about cancer, but thanks for bringing that up and making me think of nothing but bladder cancer for the rest of my life." Like I like how doctors just put that kind of stuff in your head.
My father-in-law tells me. So the other day he goes, like just out of nowhere, he's like, colon cancer. Like, what's the deal with it? Like, it's really on the rise among people like 30 to 50.
Your father-in-law, Jerry Seinfeld.
Yeah. He goes.
What's
like,
the deal with colon cancer?
He's like, yeah, between 30 and 50, like you're not checked for colon cancer, and all these guys are suddenly like having cramps and finding out they're having stage 4 colon cancer.
Who are these people?
Who are these people? And I was like, he's like, yeah, I don't know what you do with this information, but it's happening a lot. Anyway, I'll talk to you later.
It happens a lot to Jewish people who live in Nassau County.
Yeah, they say first you have ants in your house, then you have colon cancer. Anyway,
Have a nice weekend.
I didn't know. Like, I was like, okay. I didn't even know there was a rash of colon cancer because I had not seen this headline in the New York Times or anything that like suddenly all these 30-year-olds are dying from colon cancer, but apparently it's happening and I just don't know about it.
Not enough of them are dying.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. Not enough for them dying under the Republican healthcare plan
Yet.
yet. Yeah, I didn't really know what to. Yeah, so when did you start feeling better? Like for 2 days, your head's spinning, or like
Yeah.
I think you're.
Yeah, like I had like 7 drinks. I'm like walking into walls and stuff.
So you
I
basically.
bump into things a lot lately.
What?
Like I'm just walking, like, and I'll turn the corner, I'll just walk right into the wall.
We're a mess.
Are you a 2-year-old kid? Because that's what 2-year-old kids do.
I don't think I am.
Okay. Because my kids will, and actually my daughter's 3 now, but she'll bump into anything. She almost misses death all the time. But why are you bumping into stuff?
I don't know.
Maybe Bri has
If I knew, I probably wouldn't do it.
Yeah, maybe Bri has my dizzy whatever thing it was.
So your head's spinning, you're bumping into walls, and I may have colon cancer, just don't know it yet.
And you occasionally also fall down and break your nose.
Yes.
That's only when running.
Yes. So the 300th episode, it's going to be like the Hunger Games. We'll see who's alive.
Mark's like, you can't walk? That's funny. Yet I can't run.
That is true. Are you roasting me now? Go, Jay.
So
Hang on. So like you're like, when do you feel better? Like, let's take. I want to hear more about your like this mental breakdown.
So, well, the thing is, I'm thinking, because the doctor's like, well, since everything seems fine, it could be stress. I'm like, all right, so we've pretty much confirmed that I'm having a mental breakdown. But then I'm thinking, the fact that I'm now losing study time because of my breakdown is not helping my breakdown. So it's all just snowballing at this point.
Well, maybe you'll do better because accounting, or I guess the CPA, it's a math oriented exam, right?
Yeah.
And that dude from Beautiful Mind was really good at math. So maybe the breakdown helps your mind.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Yeah, maybe you're taking it a step to the next direction. Like you're going to a higher level, and your just head has to spin for an entire year. You'll nail all these exams. Jay, would you be okay with your head spinning for a year if it meant you passed these exams?
I don't think I could deal with that. It was like really bad.
That'd be a long year.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I sneezed, sorry.
That was a
No.
sneeze?
What's that noise?
It sounded like you were
dialing.
It sounded like you were turning a crank.
Oh, it's my microphone. I cranked it. I moved it over my head so that you wouldn't hear me sneeze. Except you probably did anyway.
No, I didn't hear the sneeze, but the crank was way more distracting than a sneeze would have been.
I didn't know what he was doing. Like I was like, what the fuck is going on here?
Okay, so yeah, that I don't know. I guess Saturday it was like a mild wobble, so I was able to get back to trying to study while it's slightly wobbling, which was also fun.
Did you think maybe you were like becoming like you were suddenly becoming disabled?
I'm already becoming disabled. I know that.
Like maybe you were becoming autistic. Like this is what happens when you become autistic.
Okay.
I don't know. What if what if you just suddenly got in that stage you never could get out of it? Like that was your life from now on. Your life from now on involves a shaky head.
Yeah, that would be just super.
And the doctor's like, "Well, Jay, you don't have bile cancer, so you should be happy. Your head's just spinning."
He's like, nobody told you 75% of CPA candidates have permanent wobbly heads?
Do you think this will get worse if you fail the next exam?
Oh yeah. I may
What's going to happen?
I may just die. I don't know if I can handle it. I find out next week.
Did you so we have a reveal. Did you know Bri been secretly taking the exams with you also? He's 3 for 3 in passing.
Yeah, I've already got my CPA like 4 times over. I'm like extra CPA.
Jay, would you enjoy that if we were with me and Brian both were taking it also and both just like passing no problem?
That would be so sweet. And then you guys got side gigs as video editors.
Yeah. And your aunt and the ants from my house keep coming back into your house.
That would be awesome. So, okay, enough about that. I was on InfoWars, and I was...
So was our president. Go on.
I was razzing some guy on there because he was a flat earther.
Mm-hmm.
And the name I used to troll InfoWars is Brink of Sanity Show. So the guy I was razzing tracked down the show and emailed us. And he sent us some info on the flat earth so that we can be educated.
Is the guy you are arguing with, this guy sent you info, is he on the Cleveland Cavaliers and wants to be traded? We can't reveal who it is, but I'm just asking.
I told him, like, we could start and end this argument with the fact that nobody has taken a picture of the edge. And he emailed
Nor
us.
has anybody fallen off.
And he emailed us and said, don't worry about the edge at this point. Learn all the proofs. We're not spinning at 1,000 miles an hour. Why you can see so far. There is so much out there and it's growing. Say goodbye to the globe. Research and study. That was our email. Did you guys follow that at all?
Did he use what they call a sentence?
Parts of sentences.
Like a subject,
Does that
verb.
count?
No, it was kind of like I think if you take all the words from all the partial sentences, you can make a full sentence.
I think my 6-year-old son wrote that. I feel like a failure as a parent.
So anyway, we don't need to worry about that. He started telling me about flight paths and how things don't never go in a direct line, and that's proof that the Earth is flat.
What?
I don't know.
Okay, Jay, I'm gonna have to take. We're gonna do debate time. I will take the flat Earth argument. You can take the round Earth argument when I put in quotations. And you ready?
You could take the rational argument, Jay.
Yeah. Okay. So the world is a square, obviously.
Why is that obvious?
Well, you can't be a round ball because balls bounce. And are we bouncing?
No, we're not bouncing. There is photographs of the globe, though.
Yeah, and there are photographs of the planes hitting on 9/11.
Game, set, match.
When in doubt, invoke 9/11.
Always a trump card in our show.
Lorenzo writes, hey guys, any of you into the TV show Survivor at all? The Australian version is currently running and it's pretty good. I'm sure if you turned Brink into an Aussie Survivor podcast, you would capture a niche market.
The show's still on?
Yeah, it's on like season 25 or something.
I've never seen a second of that show.
You know, you can download that show that they have it on Amazon Prime. You could watch like old seasons, which is kind of a weird. I mean, I guess like you could always look up also who won, but you don't have to. You don't necessarily know who won. But I feel like it's a weird show to binge on.
I worked with a girl who was on Survivor.
Oh yeah.
She banged some random dude and then got voted off the island.
Did it do anything for her like career or anything?
She was a secretary at my job, so I guess not.
Was she hot?
Yeah.
Oh. Did you say to her, "Do you want to play Survivor at my apartment?"
I said I'm a big fan of your TV work.
Actually, I work with a guy who was on The Bachelor. So.
He was the actual Bachelor?
No, he was one of like I guess there was a Bachelorette. I guess he was on The Bachelorette. That would be the appropriate name of the show?
Yeah.
Jay, you know, your line to that girl should have been like, you know, with a little better video editing, you could have done better on that show.
I would have edited that totally differently.
That's right. I would have made you look like not a whore.
Yeah.
Do you guys ever take 5-hour energy?
I think
You
I
guys
might,
taken
no.
that?
I think
No,
I
I
might
never
have
have.
taken it once.
They sell it in the supermarket like it's something you could just like buy and like, oh, this will help you for the day. It'll get you wake up and blah blah blah.
Yeah, I don't trust it. It doesn't seem
Yeah,
to make
so-
sense.
So I was like, you know what? Like it's what is it, $2.99 for a thing. I'm like, it's the same price as buying coffee basically.
Right.
Which I don't buy every day anyway. But if I was going to, and I was like, well, maybe this will give me like extra energy. I'm really tired. So I said, what the hell this morning? Because my kids were up a bunch of times last night. Like my son was like, he woke up to like ask me if he can go to the bathroom. I was like, yes, you can go to the bathroom. And then he woke me up because he decided to wear a bathing suit to bed and decided he didn't want to wear the bathing suit, and so he wanted to switch to regular shorts. And I don't know why he had to wear a bathing suit to bed. Anyway, so I was dead tired, and so I take the 5-hour energy, and for 5 hours you're really tired, but now you have the jitters. I don't know why. I don't know how this product has ever sold twice.
Huh. So it was like taking no, if you were tired, it wouldn't even be like taking too much caffeine.
No, I mean too much caffeine kind of makes you sick also. But this was like I was like, now I'm tired, but I'm jitters and I feel kind of nauseous. This is made by, and now I can't drink coffee on top of this because I don't know, I might have a heart attack if I do that. So like now I'm just gonna have a really bad day.
That sounds great.
I was like, I'm really tired. I have to get stuff done for work. I was like, oh, what the fuck? I'll just try this. And I figured, I don't know why I expected it to be like cocaine and be
That's like when
whoa!
That's like those pills I used to take, Jay. I took one of those once. That's how I felt.
Stacker twos.
Yeah, those things.
Oh my god,
What-
those things were insane.
Felt like I was gonna die.
Aren't those like losing weight type things?
Yeah, it's like a Fedrin.
Like
Right?
you
Is that what
take,
it was?
yeah, like you take it and you lose weight because your body sweats like 8 pounds off like immediately.
I lost a pound every single time I took one of those. I don't know what's in it, but like I remember I took it on the subway going home from work, and I started pacing like 5 stops from my apartment, and then like 3 stops away I had so much energy I had to get out and walk because I was just like bursting with energy. And then I played Dance Dance Revolution for about 3.5 hours.
So that's the problem. It'll kill you. So it's just like that with 5-hour energy without the actual energy. So I feel like I can just go to sleep right now, except I feel like shit.
Yeah, that sounds
Yeah.
terrible.
But I got mango flavored, so that was better.
Oh, there you go.
That made it all better. Yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering about those things. I took a half of one once, but then I was like worried about just like having a panic attack, so I didn't even drink the other half.
You know, I've taken them before, not like that often. I have taken them like in like a long time ago, like and taken them and then like drank. And like I remember you could drink more, and it was kind of like you get like awake but fucked up.
It's like
But when you're really
having a vodka Red Bull.
Yeah, it was like an amped up vodka Red Bull, or kind of the same thing, except like when you're really tired, and you're just taking it to like get more done at work. It was really a bad idea.
That happened to me in Vegas. You know those slushy drinks they serve like you could buy like on the street and stuff.
Mhm.
I bought like a Jaeger Red Bull one, and I paid like an extra $5. I put an extra shot of Jaeger and then like an extra shot of Red Bull in there. And I had it like 9 at night. I was up for like 2 days. I could not fucking sleep. And we got back to the hotel room. I was ready for bed, and I was just like, no, I don't think so. I was like, oh shit. And it was like 2 days later, and I finally came down from it. And I couldn't figure out why. I had like 3 of them. It was like I bought one, and then I'm walking the strip, and like the next refill place, I'm like, yeah, give me another one of these. They're good. And it took me till like dinner the next day to be like, oh, that's why I didn't fucking sleep, because of all the Red Bull and the Jaeger.
I did the I think I mentioned it on the show once before. I forget, but I did the Inca Trail in Peru, and like when you go there, the elevation's really high. I think you start at like 10,000 or whatever feet, and because of that, like it can throw off your system. And they say you should drink coca tea to like somehow that'll help your system and like adjust. And I was really getting like just from being there, I was getting really sick. So I was drinking a ton of coca tea, which is basically like what they make cocaine out of. And I was we were going on this tour, and the whole night I'm just laying in bed and my eyes I can't close my eyes, and I'm like, why am I so awake? And my friend's like, why did you keep drinking that tea? I'm like, I wasn't feeling good. Yeah, but that's going to keep you awake. I'm like, thanks for telling me that now.
Was that this week's vacation, or was that a different vacation?
You want to really hate me?
Sure. Do you have a fifth
I
vacation?
have another vacation.
You have a fifth vacation planned this year?
My wife actually, she got selected for a conference / vacation. It's basically a vacation. For work, we're going to Budapest in September.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not even kidding. Just found out.
Unbelievable.
I know. The first thought I had, like, when I found, well, first of all, she came into, like, we were on vacation when we found out, and like she was up before me. She came into the room and she's like, I'm going to Hungary for work, and I was like, the fuck are you talking about? She's like, I'm going to Hungary. I'm like, where the fuck's Hungary? I mean, and this like, and then like she's like, you can come too. I'm like, again, what the fuck are you talking about? But then eventually, she's like, I don't know why I said Hungary. Budapest would have been a lot easier if you understand. But yeah, we're actually going to Budapest for just 4 nights. But
Oh, that's all.
yeah. But my first thought though was like, my first thought was awesome, we're going. My second thought was, wow, Jay's gonna want to fucking kill me. When I'm like, I can't do the show this week. I'm gonna be in Budapest.
I think you're going to get some ribbing on some emails, too.
That does sound. If we have any listeners in Budapest, I'm looking for you. Hey Jay, you were in Thailand and Japan this year, so
Yeah, it was
I'm going
my first
international.
vacation in 5 years. You've been in 5 vacations in 1 year.
So if any listeners are in Budapest and they have any recommendations for me, I'll be there. So, do you want to do a live show from Budapest?
Sure. We got an email from Josh. The email is thebrinkofsanity@gmail.com. He writes, hey guys, it's me, your third listener. You may remember me as the guy who pointed out that you hadn't updated your About Me section on the short-lived viral sensation that was DonaldTrumpHappened.com. Anyway, I'm not trying to steal the email MVP spotlight from Lorenzo, but I'm forced to contact you 90s style since you guys can't get with the times and ask for questions on Twitter, which we forgot to do again. We are Brink of Sanity 3 on Twitter.
I don't think actively not doing it is forgetting. Like
No,
we've purposely not asked for questions on Twitter.
Well, for the Knicks podcast, it makes sense because we get a lot of questions. For the Brink, we should probably do it.
We have 20 questions this week from Facebook. Do you want more questions?
I don't know. Maybe we'll get different people asking questions.
Jay's not taking any shit today. He's going right to the emails. He's cutting the story short.
Yeah, you really cut everything short today, Jay. What do
You
you
notice that?
studying? Yeah, usually Jay goes, let's get some emails. He's already got emails, Jay.
I can't be doing 2-hour shows during. I don't want to have another nervous breakdown. That's what I'm saying.
Jay, you should have a nervous breakdown at the game. You could bring your books.
Well, baseball's still
Jay.
going on in September.
Jay, you hang on. You don't even like baseball. You'll have
But these tickets are free.
I wasn't even sure. Are they free? That's even better.
I think they are.
Okay.
Look,
Um,
September 6th is my test. I will go anytime in September after the 6th.
Okay, but the week after I'm going to Budapest.
Yeah.
So we have to go.
I have to plan around Mark's vacation schedule.
Jay,
Jay, screw trying to advance your career. We have to plan around Mark's vacation schedule.
Jay, you don't like baseball, so it would give you all the more reason to want to study while you're at the game.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll get
Once
a
they
lot
get
done.
it over with.
Yeah, no, I'm sure it'll be very productive if I do that.
How long is the game, Brian? Like 3 hours?
Yeah, you guys don't
Yeah.
have to stay that long.
You could study for 2.5 hours, Jay.
Between pitches.
Jay, there's a guy in the group whose name is CPA, so you could probably talk to him about it.
It sounds like
Yeah,
his Beastie
I bet he
Boys
got
name.
I bet he got the name from have passed every one of them right away.
Yeah, I don't know him, but
Well, that's
Your
awesome.
name CPA? I'm taking the CPA. Let's be best friends.
I know I'm breaking the 3 questions rule, but hopefully you can let it slide this time.
Okay.
For everyone, what is the earliest memory you can recall?
The earliest.
My earliest memory is I think I was 3 years old at the house I grew up in, and we were putting in a pool. And in the backyard, for however long they're putting in the pool, was like all this there was like a bulldozer and the other thing, I forgot what it's called. But there's a picture of me sitting in the driver's seat of the bulldozer, and I remember that picture being taken. That's my earliest memory. Like I remember like climbing on all the equipment and like get my picture taken.
I can remember like there being like this big thing of mud that used to be underneath underneath our deck. I remember playing in it. Not much of a memory here, but yeah.
I remember my dad had kind of an expensive boombox and had this long antenna, and I was playing with it and I was bending it, and I accidentally snapped it off, and I thought my dad was going to kill me. So that might have been my first.
You know what's like a depressing thing about being a parent is that like you put in so much time, and for the first like couple of years, like the first 3 years are kind of a wash because you put all that time, and your kid will never remember any of that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Jay, do you want to do our Tommy D? Or let's finish after this. Would you do our Tommy D segment?
Okay. For Mark, Jay is exempt to avoid putting him on the spot. Bry's exempt for more obvious reasons. At what moment did you realize you wanted to marry your significant other?
What moment did I realize?
When she was pregnant.
I don't know what moment, but I remember being like, I don't know, we were really into each other. I was really in love, and I thought like this. I don't know whether there's a moment, but I definitely like knew I wanted to spend the rest of my life with her.
All right.
I don't know. Is there a moment that you knew, Jay, you like wanted to, like, is there a moment you knew you loved your girlfriend? And then will that moment happen soon?
For Mark, Jay has video games and comics. Bry is gambling and contemplating suicide. What's your hobby? I know you love your kids to death, but that's not allowed to be your answer.
What do you mean it's a lot of my answer? That's most of my time.
It's not a hobby though. It's an obligation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's a government enforced hobby. It's my kids take up most of my time. Then there is the show, and
Vacations.
Then my many vacations I have to plan. I like following the Mets. I follow the Jets, and the Knicks, obviously. What else? I exercise. I just took up. By the way, are you guys good swimmers?
I haven't swam in a long time. I used to be when I was little. I used to be a real good swimmer.
I'm
What about
not
you, Jay?
great. I know how to, but I'm not that good at it.
So I am a goddamn awful swimmer. Like I don't know if you know this or who knows this. Cornell. I went to Cornell, and to graduate from Cornell, you have to take a swim test. It's part of someone donated a bunch of money a long time ago, and one of the things I guess the
Wait, you have to prove that you're rich and white enough? Is that what you have to
well,
do that?
basically they say someone donated a lot of money, and because they donated the money, everyone that graduated Cornell has to pass the swim test.
I took a swimming class in college.
Yeah, so basically, if you don't pass the swim class, you have to take a swimming. You don't pass the swim test, and the swim test is basically, you have an Olympic-sized pool. You have to swim on your stomach from one end, then your back to the other, on your back to the other end, and do whatever you want, and just do 3 laps basically. So it's not like a crazy test, but everyone has to do that if they want to graduate. I remember I did that test, and I was like the most tired I'd ever been from just doing 3 laps.
Yeah, swimming is a crazy workout.
Yeah, it's very tiring.
Yeah, so I'm not a really good swimmer. I'm like a terrible swimmer. But I started really recently. I'm like, that would be a good workout is swimming, because if I swim, like I know like I'm bad at it, and like I'm basically like I feel like I'm sprinting the whole time I'm swimming. So I figured I'll do that, and then I'll get a good workout. So I went to the town pool the other day and swam. I did 20 laps, and I felt like I was gonna fucking die afterwards.
Why didn't you just get an Olympic-sized pool in your 5-acre backyard?
I have 0.12 acres, so I cannot fit a pool. There's like this
Is that
guy
because your
who
staff each has their own house in the backyard and you took up your backyard?
You can't get an Olympic-sized pool, Jay.
Yeah. So there's a guy that was swimming like in my lane. The guy must have been like 280 pounds, like huge fat dude, and just like is just beautifully like he's like a fish, just like very slowly, methodically, like kicking my butt swimming, and just like going. Look like he's barely using any energy. And each time I finish a lap, I get out of the water, like my heart almost pops out of my mouth, like I'm like just dying. And then I finish the 20 laps, I get out of the pool, I lay down, I can't even move for like a half hour. I am the fucking worst. I couldn't lift my arms above my head for like half the day. I was in so much pain. I'm not a good swimmer. But I this,
A few years there's in the town where I work, like a mile and a half or so from my office, is that there's a town pool that's like it's like indoor outdoor, but it's covered in the winter, whatever, and you can go and swim. And for like 6 months I kept saying I'm gonna join the pool, and I'm gonna go. It's open like 5 in the morning. I was like, I'm gonna join the pool, I'm gonna go like 5 in the morning, I'm gonna swim every day, a couple days a week, get a discount because I work in the town or whatever. And then finally, like one day, like over like I think it was like the day after Thanksgiving, I was like, I'm just gonna go swimming. So I go down to the pool and I buy the ticket and I go in. I swam 2 laps, thought I was gonna drown because I was so tired. Got out of the pool and I was like, well, that's the end of that idea. I was like, oh yeah, no, that's yeah, no. See, I can swim, but I don't have like good form. Like I can swim 20 laps, but I can't do like the like overhead and the breaststroke. I kind of just make it up as I go.
Oh, I'm so bad. So I only do I'm just doing the I guess they call it the breaststroke is when you're laying on your back and I'm laying on your stomach and you're using your arms to like.
Yeah, like the frog.
Yeah, it's like the frog.
Yeah, you kind of just move your arms kind of and kick with your feet.
Yeah, that's called the frog.
I think you're talking
it's
about
kind of like a frog.
I think Mark's talking about the freestyle.
No. I think I'm. Well, you use your like you put your arms go over your head as you're swimming, right?
Oh, that one.
Yeah, that's the freestyle.
When you're putting your head in and you're turning your head.
Freestyle.
Oh, yeah.
What were you talking about?
I think I was talking.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Where you kind of like your arms are more like a.
Like out.
They're gliding in the water, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that one I could do. But the hardest one, like for me, is like the
Freestyle.
Freestyle.
I can't do the backstroke because I don't go straight. I'm always bumping into the sides.
Can't do the backstroke. The freestyle, the one I'm basically like I just do it in the most inefficient way possible, and I'm just a horrible swimmer. So each lap is basically like a sprint, and I'm like dying after.
Well, that's my problem. I can do the freestyle, but I end up expending about 5 times as much energy as I should. Like
yeah.
And I go at a slower. It's like I'm slower and I'm exerting more energy.
Yeah, exactly. I basically do everything you could possibly do wrong. Like the frog one I can do. The worst part is that so you're supposed to put your head in the water, then turn your head to breathe, right?
Yeah.
So I never learned how to do that. So I just have my head out the whole time also, which makes it like hurt my neck also as I'm swimming.
Yeah.
I'm a really bad swimmer, but that's my hobby is torturing myself. If that's what you're asking.
All right, back to the email. For everyone, what's something besides cell phones you wonder how you ever lived without?
Should we say Jay or?
Probably the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah, being able to look like things up, like
From just an information standpoint.
Like before Google, it was your 1948 Encyclopedia Britannica telling you all facts.
I mean, it's amazing how often I use it too. Like I was watching Game of Thrones last night, and I was like, Arya looks really short. I wonder how tall she is. And like 2 seconds later, I'm like, oh, she's 5'1". Okay. Back to the show.
It'd be a lot easier to give up your TV at this point than it would be to give up your computer, internet access.
Yeah. Absolutely.
What about this? Forgetting, obviously it's part of the phone, but text messaging. Instead, like you had to go back to calling everyone.
I wouldn't be too upset about that.
I think I've adapted enough that I don't really want to talk to too many people on the phone anymore.
I don't want to, but it wouldn't be like, oh my God, how am I going to deal with this?
That's true. But I was like, hey Jay, it's Mark. How you doing? You want to do the show? I'm ready for the show. I'm just going to call you about that. Could you call Bri?
Yeah, it would be annoying. I guess it's not as bad for us because we went like 20 years without it.
Yeah, because we lived it. I saw this commercial for Xfinity the other day, and it was like, Wi-Fi, we literally can't live without it. And I was like, yeah, no, we made it plenty of years without fucking Wi-Fi.
Yeah, we can do it.
Pretty much go. You know what I literally can't live without? Bread and water.
Yeah.
And oxygen. That's what I literally can't live without.
I can't live without carbs.
I meant water and air. I said bread and water. But
Speaking of commercials, so the last couple of Met games I've been watching, like the commercials are meant for the audience of like they're obviously advertising. Obviously, people who are advertising know what kind of audience they have, the last couple of Met games I've watched, one of the advertisers was Vagisil to help those vagina problems that
They
all
still
of
make
Met fans are
commercials for
having.
that?
Apparently they are, and apparently they think all Mets fans are giant pussies, and that's why they're advertising Vagisil. It's almost like there's some Yankee fan who's trolling us by spending a lot of money on commercials.
I'm pretty sure it's just the Met players are pussies, not their fans.
Yeah, I mean it could be. Who knows? Judge knocked a home run.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Let's do our Tommy D. Let's do our Tommy D segment. Let's see. Do you have more of the email?
Last part of this email.
Okay.
For Jay, what games coming out this fall are you most excited about? I think Wolfenstein looks badass. Definitely first day buy. Mark, be quiet. You had your chance to speak. Let Jay answer.
Oh God.
I am looking.
The games Jay should be looking forward to are the Met games in September.
Jay, maybe you should get a video game that helps you pass the CPA.
Yeah, isn't there like Guitar Hero for accountants?
If there is, I'll get it.
That'd be a
Maybe-
good game to. That'd be a good game to create.
It would.
Yeah, maybe you should. That's your thing. Will be like inventing a video game that teaches people to pass the CPA. You'd make a lot of money.
It's not a bad idea. I'm looking forward to Agents of Mayhem, Cuphead, and South Park: The Fractured Butthole.
Oh, and I told Jay this, but I'll mention on the show. So my brother-in-law brought with him like a Nintendo simulator, and so we had Super Mario Bros. With us on vacation. My son, who's 6 years old, could not have been more obsessed with playing Super Mario Brothers. He would not play. There were 30 games in the system. He could not care about the other 29 games. Super Mario was the greatest thing ever, and like he wasn't very good at it, but like and whatever, he just started playing. He would like he just wanted like half the time he just wanted me to play. He'd be like, "Daddy, please play so I can watch. Please play so I can watch."
So, which system are you going to get now?
Oh, I'm not. I mean, he was so addicted to it like crack.
Is he asking you about it now?
You know what? So one of the things like he's learning to read, and one of the things that I try to read a book with him every night. There's like a site I can go to like get like books for kids, and he was asking so usually like I would like if you read a book you can play the video games, and we would do that at night. And so he'd be like at 8 in the morning and be like, "Can I read a book right now so I can play a video game? Can I read a book right now so I can play a video game?" I'm like, Super Mario Bros. Might make my kid like an 8th grade level reading by the end of this trip.
Yeah, it's not the worst idea.
Yeah, no, it was like it didn't make me feel that. I was like, we're on vacation anyway, and he's reading on vacation, so it's not bad.
One of my other first memories ever was playing Atari, so I started real early. It must have been like 3. That is it.
So you're really into video games. So I think maybe I should hold off then. If you're one of your first memories of Atari, because then my son will be like a crack addict like you. Let's do our Tommy D segment.
Thank you for the email, Josh.
I've been excited for our segment because this happened a while ago.
Okay. You want to like explain it?
No, not at all. So Tommy D is, for those that if you're a Nick fan and you are on Twitter, Tommy D is the InfoWars of Twitter. Would you say that? Or InfoWars of Nick fans. He started the New York the Knicks blog, which is a very famous in the Knicks community, a well-known the first like popular Knicks blog. And he was a respected member of the community. At some point, he went off the edge and just started making up fake trade rumors and would say like ridiculous things that were going to happen for the Knicks, and then like people would call him out on it, and he would never take credit. And like he's just a general asshole who makes shit up online, right?
Yeah.
And so he decided to start a Patreon page, which Jay copied, obviously. Are we doing a Patreon page for Brink? What's going on?
Yeah, I was supposed to set it up last weekend, but then I had a nervous breakdown. So it'll be coming very soon. Before next episode.
Anyway, he set up a Patreon page to like make money, which is totally whatever. You want to make money for your show. But the funny thing was, at one point or another, he said, join my Patreon page, support a very worthy charity. And we like to troll him on there. Basically, just like he says a lot of stupid shit on there, so we like to.
We call out the inconsistencies in his stories. It's not like we're like, we're messing with him when it's justified. If he says a fake story or made up rumor, we call him out on it.
He does a lot of things. Like he said, what is it, that Pau Gasol was going to be traded, the Spurs were going to trade him to the Knicks for Joakim Noah. Nowhere else in the news was this covered. He says a lot of things that like nowhere else in the news it's covered, and then it doesn't happen, and basically make shit up, more or less.
Right.
And so anyway, so he said the charity thing, and I just have if you're gonna say something's for a charity, it should be for a charity. And I felt it was kind of weird. I was like, he said it's for a charity, but didn't say what the charity was. Like, Bri, if you were trying to advertise, like you're trying to raise money for a charity, would you say what the charity is?
Yeah, usually. Unless I was pocketing the money.
Is that? Yeah, I mean that's like rule number one of trying to raise money for a charity. Rule number one seems to say what the charity is. Unless it's Cars for Kids, when you hide what the charity is, and that's really sketchy in itself. But we talked about that on the show earlier. Brian, were you on for that episode?
Yes, I was.
Okay. So anyway, he said that, so we kept, like, a couple times on Twitter, we were like, hey, what's the charity? And he would never say what the charity is. And then I used our Brink account to troll him on there and be like, hey, what's the charity? And he responds like, if you pay for the Patreon site, then I'll let you know. And I was like, wow, that's really weird. You want to raise money for the charity, but we have to pay to find out what the charity is. Seemed kind of weird, right?
Yeah.
So then he started private messaging me on Twitter, and so Jay, we're gonna read the conversation. Jay, do you want to be Tommy D or do you want to be me?
I'll be Tommy. It'll be weird if I'm you.
That'd be weird. Let me get to the top of the conversation. Hang on.
Okay.
This is a long. Bri, you can. Bri has never heard this conversation. Bri, do you think this will be an entertaining conversation?
Well, there's only one way to find out now, isn't there?
What's that one way, Bri?
For you guys to act it out and put me to sleep?
Yeah, probably.
I mean, Bri, do you want to read it?
I don't have access to it, I believe.
Well, you
well, he has to. He actually could have access if he goes to the Brink.
If I was just gonna read it, I would just tell you guys to send it to me and read it, and then we didn't have to do this on the air.
You don't have. Bri, you should have access to our Twitter account.
I don't think I do. I have the Trump one.
Can you, while we're doing this, can you tweet to Tommy and say you'll release your tax returns if he says what charity he's?
I'll tell him we won't nuke North Korea if we find out what charity is.
Okay, so I keep asking Tommy what the charity is. He doesn't say it, and so then Tommy messages me. Jay, you want to begin?
Why are you trying to start shit? Ever think maybe the charity's very personal? Also, you're anonymous. When I know who you are, I'll tell you. Stop begging for attention.
Is there really a charity?
Yes.
I've never heard of someone being unwilling to name a charity. I would think that would be a selling point.
I'm very willing. I just told you. I'm not trying to sell anything. I'm trying to weed out anonymous trolls begging for attention.
So, what charity?
Signing up just for charity sounds completely disingenuous. You're trolling.
Nothing trolling about asking what charity before signing up.
Yes, there is.
Disingenuous?
You're starting to shit like an asshole.
Wanting to support a charity is not what you want people to do?
Huh?
I asked what charity. Seems like an innocent question.
It isn't obvious to you that it's very personal to me?
So you don't want Nick fans who support charity to sign up?
What?
Well, why mention charity in the first place if you won't say what it is? I will stop asking. Just odd you won't name the charity.
You're the only one who has an issue, and you're anonymous. Many people signed up without even knowing about the charity. What does that tell you?
You said the money was going to a good charity. I asked what charity. You will not reveal the charity.
It tells me you're the one making it an issue for whatever reason. My guess is attention.
Okay, got it. What attention? Ask the legit question.
But you're not a legit person. You're anonymous. I can't even read that one.
I am done. You could have just responded by saying you can't name the charity.
You're not legit by definition. I'll name it when I'm comfortable with who I'm saying it to, because it's obviously very personal, which you refuse to accept for some reason. Why don't you accept that it's very personal to me? Answer that. You can't.
Just odd, but done with the conversation.
Yep, you can't, because you don't obviously have basic respect and you want attention.
Legit question. Odd response.
Nothing odd about keeping personal things personal. What's odd is your basic lack of respect for people and being anonymous. I feel bad for you.
Fine for charity that is personal to you, just odd to bring it up in the first place as a way to attract subscribers and then say it is a secret.
You don't get to ask the questions. It wasn't to attract anyone.
By the way, Jay's doing such a better job reading than I am. Then-
Aren't you guys? Is that from your Knicks Twitter?
Hang on.
No, this is from Brink Twitter.
from Brink.
Oh.
Then
He's too stupid to just like click on the link and find out who you are.
I mean, it clearly says Mark and Jay in the profile.
it does. Then why did you say it?
Must be a different anonymous Mark and Jay.
Then why did you say it?
Why can't you answer a simple question? We call this hypocrisy. Anonymous hypocrites are the lowest level of trolls. You really think you can ask all the questions? You can't even answer one. I answered yours and you chose not to accept it. That's what's odd. Why can't you accept it? Is it because you're the one on the bring of sanity? Just say that, because that would make sense and I'd accept it.
You got it. You can't say what the charity is. Got it. Weird that asking what charity amounts to trolling, but whatever.
Dude, have a shred of accountability.
That made 0 sense.
This isn't a debate and I don't owe you anything.
Okay, we settled on you won't reveal your charity. We done?
I gave you answer and you refuse to accept it. That puts you in the wrong. No way around it. You don't dictate when we're done.
How have I not accepted it? Your answer is you can't reveal it. What am I missing?
You've tried to dictate everything from the jump.
I asked a question.
So did I. You can't answer mine.
You have danced around an answer.
No, I haven't. I told you it was personal. Accept it and move on, then we'll be done. But you can't.
Got it. Your charity is too personal to reveal.
Because you have no accountability or respect for how I feel.
I don't know why you keep responding.
You just came at me again. Don't play the victim, dude. Holy shit. What's wrong with you? This is crazy.
Am I missing something? I said I got it. Your charity is too personal to reveal.
To you? Absolutely.
Is it actually a 501c3 charity?
Why do you constantly try to put me on trial? Who are you? Why would you even need to ask that? 3 questions you won't answer, by the way.
Ha, it's all too personal.
This is funny to you?
At this point, yes.
Pathetic. Says a lot about your character. What's hilarious to me is the arrogance of demanding to know personal information while hiding behind an anonymous handle that says Mark and Jay. That's a special kind of crazy.
Yep, I am a bad person for asking what charity when someone said the money was going to a very special charity. Got it. Why keep messaging me about it?
Because you're blatantly implying it isn't, which is offensive.
You have your answer. It is a personal charity that you can't reveal until you know me better. Got it. Done. Need the last word?
You've also implied I said it was a selling tool, which it wasn't. Dude, I've been done. You keep DMing me.
Haha. Okay. You mentioned the charity for some other reason, too personal to reveal. Got it.
Don't kid yourself. There's a lot you don't get.
I bet you will respond because you need the last word.
Clicking on the block button. Yeah, then we got
He blocked me.
Finally.
What do you think of that conversation, Bri?
It was a bit of a who's on first, I think.
The charity is too. I don't understand what the charity would be that it's too personal to reveal. I was thinking during the conversation, I'm like, does his son have cancer? At the same time, if your son has cancer, you're trying to raise money for it. You'd want to mention that because that's how you raise money for it. But why?
You should have responded. Who I am is personal. I don't want to divulge that.
I was getting a little. It was such a weird conversation. I was like, when he figures out who I am, he's going to kill my family. So I need to stop this. He seems like too fucking crazy.
I'm clicking on our profile right now. I'm pretty sure it says Mark and Jay right on it. And he's been on our Knicks podcast twice, so he knows we're Mark and Jay. Oh, no.
Yeah, does it say?
No, it says a weekly comedy talk show podcast. Okay.
Well, if you go to the website, though, it has us. If you do some basic digging.
Yeah. I mean, right on the profile is a link to brinkofsanityshow.com, and it has our pictures and our...
I mean, if an 85-year-old guy found it, I mean...
Yeah.
That's all I'll say about that.
The show is being monitored. We can go no further with this conversation.
Yeah, you go to the website. It says Jay... Yeah.
What's his Twitter handle?
It says J, Mark, and Bri. It says our names on the thing. What was it not about? Just click on the page.
What's his Twitter handle?
There's a forum that has pictures of us.
His Twitter handle is Thomas C D DEE. So yeah, you should message him as Trump.
Thomas C D E E.
Yeah.
Oh, Tommy D. Probably got me blocked because I've chimed in on a few of your things here. Father, husband.
I think there are literally pictures of us on their websites.
Yeah, yeah. And like I said, he's been on the Nick Show a couple of times, so he knows who we are.
Like any form of like detective work at all would be able to connect the two sites.
Yeah.
And could figure out. He could probably find our listeners find our Facebook account. Why can't he?
I don't know. I thought that was really funny, though.
Yeah, I just found the whole conversation really, really funny. Yeah, I agree.
I also like on our Trump account, which is PEAI Donald Trump. It's there was these old ladies who thought it was really Donald Trump. And did you see this, Mark? Did you actually, Brian?
What?
Did you see it too?
Maybe.
think I
I
know.
know I've tweeted a few times and had people respond thinking it was really him. But
I know the listeners didn't, so why don't you explain?
So there was this lady who said she posted a screenshot of how she got suspended for like a couple hours.
oh yeah, I saw that. I didn't know what that was about.
And she's like, look at this. I said something bad about you, and this is what happened. And she thought that she said something to the real Donald Trump, and she really did get Twitter suspended. So I don't know. She must have been talking shit to a lot of people.
Oh, I have that ability now. You didn't know that?
And so she messaged us, and she was like yelling at us. And let me just go to what we said. And I said, that's what happens when you mess with the Don. Let that be a lesson to you. And then some other old lady joined in and said, oh my goodness, Annie. And I said, that's right, Deborah. And I know what you've been saying about me too, so you better watch it. And she wrote, get lost. I wrote, that's it. I'm taking your health care away first. MAGA. And then a fake Mike Pence account joined in and said, I got your back, sir. Which is the best part, because I don't even know who that guy is.
That's pretty funny, actually.
that is funny.
Hey, what did you think about the white supremacist guy who got fired from his job?
I think there's a bunch of them. I think they're finding these people one by one and posting all their personal info.
Is it me or that one picture of those guys with the torches? The guy right in the front, dead center, looks just like Craig Kilborn.
Let me see. I'm pulling that picture up. I just saw that on Twitter. That's why it made me think of it.
Yeah,
Maybe it is Craig Kilborn. Maybe like he's trying to get back on the Daily Show and trying to think of the best way too.
Yeah, that seemed to escalate a little bit.
Yeah. Well, the person driving the car to kill the people was
1 hour after that car video went up, I saw a post that said the guy was actually an undercover CIA agent.
Oh, let me guess. Is the website you saw that on? Did it rhyme with Minfo Mars?
Infowars.
I am
Infowars.
I am absolutely shocked that it did not.
Is by the way, if Ninfowars is that domain's not taken, Jay, you should take it right now.
Infowars. Yeah.
We'll have a fourth Twitter account.
Well, I don't know how people. I know one guy was like working at a restaurant, and they posted his picture, and then then he got fired from the restaurant. And what do you for the restaurant? Like, if you're the restaurant, do you fire the guy?
Mm,
Do you care that much to the guys that he's serving burgers to someone? Does it matter that he's a white supremacist? And if you fire him, the alt-right's going to turn on your restaurant.
right.
And
I
if
mean,
you don't, the left's going to turn on your restaurant.
I know.
Yeah. Either you support white supremacy or you're against the you want to do battle with the KKK.
I know you're basically like, thanks, asshole. Now I'm screwed either way. Yeah, I don't know.
Now you have to have every Friday you have a weekly meeting where you're like, hey, staffs, want to let everyone know no one's allowed to go to a white supremacy rally this weekend. If you want to go to a white supremacy rally, you have to resign from here first. Or you have to say you work at Chili's. So fuck Chili's.
Yeah, I don't know. That's shitty.
Can I just say something that's not very popular?
You're gonna say that you're a fan of what they're saying?
No.
What?
as a people, as a society, as civilization, we really deserve to be nuked. We really do.
By North Korea.
Like the whole world, the whole world as a people, we just sort of deserve like nuclear war and everybody dying.
I feel like our country is turning into a third world country. Like it's going backwards pretty quickly.
Yeah, that whole progress thing where like it kind of is stopped.
Yeah.
I don't know if I don't know if you say third. Is it third world country or just like a fucked up country? Because third world means like everyone's impoverished.
Is there? I mean, I don't know if anybody's figured out what a second world is, but maybe we're getting close to that.
Yeah, we could be second place.
We're not losing any like. We're not really turning into third world. We're not getting poor and like losing our technology and our running water and shit. We're just assholes. Everybody hates us because we elected a fucking sociopath.
We're devolving as a society, though.
Well, we're definitely devolving as a society. But that's third world countries.
Third world was the wrong term to use, but we're definitely devolving.
But a lot of the country also is really shitty. I mean, like if you live in Flint, Michigan, you just found out like there's like lead in the water, and they're like actively making the kids retarded there.
And there's still lead in the water.
Yeah, and like you're finding out that a lot of parts of the country, like Appalachia area, like they had to vote for Donald Trump. The shit was so bad.
Yeah, I don't know.
And not even like joking, like a lot of like we live in like the privileged part of the country, like we have more privileged lives.
And I think it's a shithole.
Yeah, and like some of us have to live with cockroaches and like black mold.
Yeah,
Ants.
exactly. Yeah, we're like considered like privileged, and we live with ants and black mold and cockroaches. That's great, and ghosts.
And ghosts that have sex with their nannies. Have you seen the on a different note? Have you seen the trucks in Manhattan that are selling edibles, like marijuana edibles?
No.
Like, if you probably, well, you don't come to the city.
No.
It's called like Weed World or like World of Weed. It's an Atlanta-based company, and they have these trucks. The trucks are like covered with like all this like pot paraphernalia, pot like related stuff, and they're selling edibles in the city.
Really?
Yeah.
Like legit.
Let me find the picture for you. Hang on.
Like
Weed World
it's-
NYC.
That's not illegal yet in New York, is it?
Of course, it's illegal.
No,
Then
it's not legal.
It's not
Yeah,
legal. No. Yeah,
So then
no.
how
Here,
are they
honestly-
not getting busted right away?
Well, this is funny. Let me find the. Let me send you guys a picture.
Is it like pot flavored?
So these trucks. Take a look at the.
I'm guessing it's like pot flavored.
How come I don't see it? Oh, there it is.
I'll send you another image of it. I mean, this is helpful. Sending an image is really helpful for our listeners. But if you look up, what is it called?
What are they gonna say? They're selling grilled cheese sandwiches?
Weed World. You look at Weed World. Like, so I would see this truck pretty much every day walking to Penn Station. Like out in the open, no question. Like the truck is covered with like weed related stuff. And like it. And so the other day I was walking by and I was like, fuck it. I'm like, what the hell is this? So I asked the guy, and the guy goes, well, weed is decriminalized in New York, and so you could sell it as long as it's in the edible form. They can't, like, it's not out in the open, you could sell it. And I was like, that doesn't make sense. He's like, well, we're selling it right here, and the cops give us shit, but it's decriminalized, so they're out in the open. Like, if they were doing something illegal, if they were selling cocaine, the cops would have arrested them already.
Yeah, basically, I'm reading this article. Basically sounds like they're not selling weed.
They're not selling weed.
It's just a lollipop that's green.
Yeah, so basically, I guess so THC is the active ingredient in weed that fucks you up.
Yeah.
And so there's another ingredient I guess they use instead, so they can still say there's marijuana in there, but it's the part of marijuana that doesn't fuck with you at all.
Oh, so it's just
It's just the part that gives you cancer.
so,
yeah, I guess so.
So it's a lollipop that just tastes like a plant.
Yeah, so this article, which I
I got
sent
a
you guys,
lettuce flavored lollipop.
where someone did a taste test of the whole thing, waiting to get the weed effect, and basically there's no effect whatsoever. You just eat it. You just basically have a shitty lollipop. But they try to trick people because the guy like I talked to on the street was just like, yeah, there's weed in there. They don't mention anything about there not being THC in there. There's this other thing, cannabidiol, an entirely separate non-psychiatric psycho whatever that word is component in the weed. So it's a pretty clever fucking with people. Then again, I don't see a huge line of people buying it for them either. But like it's just the most bizarre thing because you're like, how is this out in the open in the middle of New York City? What the hell are they really selling?
Long story short, it's a scam.
Yes, it's an active scam in New York City that apparently is like, and they have a bunch of trucks in New York City, and I guess they sell enough to keep having the trucks. I don't know. The lollipops are $5, and for $5 you'll get a shitty tasting lollipop.
Oh, Jesus.
And so for the article, this person tried all of them and just said basically they sucked.
Okay, Facebook?
Yeah.
Jason writes, guys, I'm a college student. I'm starting to become more liberal. I see people like Mark taking vacation after vacation, and I want to get taxed. I want them to get taxed higher. Why should people like Mark's wife, who obviously has money to spare, not be taxed at least 40% of their income?
Yeah, isn't the highest tax rate 40%?
Yeah.
So.
I think
and
he's
then
saying you should be taxed even more because you go on too many vacations.
The Budapest best thing kind of does put it over the edge. I have to say it is a little bit absurd. But then again, Jay did go to Thailand, so.
Yeah, you're going to keep holding my one vacation of 5 years over me, where I
Bri,
spent my life savings.
Where will you be going, Bri?
I have no vacations this year.
Well, in fairness, the trip is being paid for by her work, which is pretty amazing.
In fact, I was going away Labor Day, and it just got canceled today, so I have nothing to look forward to.
Where were you going?
I was going to Hershey.
Oh. You were going to go Hershey Labor Day weekend?
Yeah.
Why was it canceled?
Because my girlfriend's having hip replacement surgery.
Jesus.
The Thursday after Labor Day. Well, we were going for the weekend, and she was going to see a concert at the stadium there, so we're turning into a whole weekend. But then she was like, "Yeah, I don't think I can have any fun, and I can't drink the week before, and it really hurts like hell." And I was like, "All right, so I guess we're not going." So, so the Thursday after Labor Day, the 7th, she's having a hip replacement.
Is it weird if I tell you I'm going to Hershey that weekend?
Are you really?
Yeah. We're going with the kids, just 2 nights.
6th vacation. It's coming out.
Have you been there?
A long time ago. I have family that lives like nearby, like in Harrisburg.
Yep.
So like as a kid, I went there a couple times. But I haven't been there in like 15 years.
It's a cool. I mean, I've gone the past couple of years actually. It's cool. If you like roller coasters, they have a lot of good roller coasters.
Oh, my kids! Well, none of the kids are gonna go on. I mean, my son, like, none of the kids are gonna go near a roller coaster, which is kind of better because I don't really feel like going on a roller coaster. But we've gone to Sesame the last couple of years, as we want to go something a little bit bigger, and they have they have a lot of obviously they have a lot of kid stuff.
Yeah,
I think half of it's like a water park, or a big park.
There's a water park in there. Yeah.
So that part, so we're gonna go there for 2 days. Oh. That would be funny if you were there. You could hang out with my kids.
We could have had another date.
Yeah, Jay, we're gonna have all these. Hip replacement surgery is pretty major, isn't it?
Yeah.
Ay. My uncle just had knee replacement surgery, and it's a huge rehabilitation.
Yeah, those are bad. Knees and shoulders are the worst. Hips are a little not as bad, I guess.
Yeah. Jay, how have you avoided not having body parts replaced?
I'm just letting them deteriorate.
Wouldn't that be like, of all the people on the show, you'd be most like, I'd say if we're going to do a most likely segment, we'd say Jay's most likely to have part of his body replaced in the next 2 years.
And then write a bad Yelp review and get it fixed again.
Jason writes, average CUNY bachelor's degree costs around $35,000, as that's the price for a 120 credit degree needed to graduate from CUNY school. Mark, do you plan on paying for your child's college or having him take out a loan?
I plan on paying. We are already saving, and we plan on paying for our kids' education. I feel like that's if you can do it, that's a very good thing to do for your kid.
Of course, Mark can do it.
Well, I don't want my kid going to I'd like him to go to I think a state school makes a lot more sense because they're much more within reason. I don't want to pay for I don't think we can or want to pay for some insanely expensive private school where he's going to have to take out loans and be like in debt the rest of his life.
Like someone we know.
Who dat? Jason writes.
You.
I know. If any, what are
JJ,
the...
do you want to kill me now?
A little bit. When I find out you're going on a 6th vacation, I'm definitely going to kill you.
Jay, did you know Mark's son just passed the CPA exam?
But hang on, Jay. In fairness, my daughter failed. And she could not pass. Like,
And never send a woman to do a man's job.
what did you guys think of the guy at Google who wrote that women are inferior, and it was like, I can't believe I'm fired.
Oh, I didn't hear about that.
Did you not hear about this?
No.
Some software engineer or some kind of high up engineer at Google. I think he was like 20 in mid 20s, like, but he had like a PhD. He wrote this internal memo about because they're trying to recruit more women to be like software engineers, and they can't get them. And he wrote this memo saying there might be biological reasons why we can't find more women. We should stop focusing our energy on this because women just aren't meant to be basically computer engineers. And so that memo ended up getting out, and Google, that looked bad for Google.
Not white
so
women, anyway.
Yeah, so that looked bad for Google, and so they fired this guy. And then he said he was going to sue because apparently...
That's so stupid. Like how is that going to harm Google? Like, what are people going to do? Like, go to Yahoo search?
No, but people... They do like are actively competing to get the best engineers. So you and even if you're not getting women engineers, you don't want to look like you're this culture that is anti-woman.
Just because you say that, see, that's the problem. Just because you say that doesn't mean you're anti-woman.
Well, I feel like my argument is why the guy's fired is he's clearly too stupid to work at Google. If you're going to write that memo, are people going to go like, you're right, women are inferior. Thanks for pointing that out.
If you're a PhD and a computer engineer, you don't have the best people skills anyway. So I would let that go. That's a big deal over nothing.
I don't know. You're offending half the population. More than half the population are women. I feel like, and that looks really bad for Google.
I didn't even hear about this, so I can't imagine every woman in the country is like, oh my God, fuck Google.
Jay, you heard about this?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this was a pretty big story. I mean, I don't think it's probably too big of a story, but like, it was like a pretty well covered story, and Google was like, it looks. I understand you're right. Like, yeah, everyone's going to use Google. But what if people start like, suddenly women are like, we'll use something else, and it like, I don't know, it could hurt their stock price. I mean, just it's not.
Oh, God forbid.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. But
well, that's what it all comes down to. It's all about money.
It's not gonna tank you like United Airlines tanked.
Well, it's true, but I also think that if this guy is this goddamn dumb to write this memo, then he's probably not going to help the company going forward. He's probably going to say other dumbass shit. Like his memo comes out about, black people probably can't write memos either, but they're good for their basketball team. Our basketball team, that's probably not going to look good either.
Jason writes, if any, what are the advantages of having student loans, or better yet, things you know now you wished you would have known before about the student loans? Talking to Jason here.
Okay, Jay. What's the advantage of having student loans?
You get to go to college if you can't afford it.
Which makes sense. That's the whole system. The whole point of college loans is that you're making an investment in yourself.
Right. I would say think long and hard before you decide to go to a private school, because it's like 3 times the price, and college degrees. At this point, you're probably going to need a master's. So, like...
It's not even 3 times the price. It's more. Like, you look at the private schools. I think, like, Binghamton, which is a very good state school in New York, I think the tuition's like $10,000. If you go to a private school, it's like $60,000.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's like God, you have like, unless the school, and I mean, like, unless you're borrowing money to go to Harvard or like some like super elite school, you're probably better off just going to a state school and get the exact same education for a lot less money.
Well, that's what the doc did. He went to like a local school. He got his doctorate, and he came out of school with like no loans.
And he's a doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah, that worked out well for him.
Yeah. Life choices.
Brian, what do you think about that?
College is, yeah, I don't know. College is way too expensive for. I don't understand how the prices have gone up so high, so quickly.
You know why the prices have gone up? They make it so you can't file for bankruptcy. So like, you have a college loan.
Oh yeah.
They're not dischargeable at bankruptcy, and then the government will give anyone a loan to go to any school in the country.
Right.
So why would the prices ever go down?
Yeah.
If you allowed basically people, students, to like declare bankruptcy and wipe out their college debt, then the colleges would have to charge a lot less money.
I really
they'd be
think you shouldn't be able to go to college till you're like 21 or 22 because the first like 2 years of college you just wasted it, especially if you go away somewhere.
Yeah, everyone would probably be better off if we like worked for 2 years, then went to college, and you were like,
Yeah.
whatever shitty job you were doing for 2 years, you'd be like, wow, I understand why I want to go to college. Like,
I mean, yeah, at least you have a little like life experience and like some money that you're, even if it's like minimum wage, at least you're making money, you're earning a living. You know,
Yeah.
you're sort of experiencing that. And then, look at Jay, you and me. Like, our first 2 years, it's just like, all we did was fucking drink. It's like,
Yeah, I mean,
that's
I
all
couldn't-
everybody does.
I
And then
couldn't
it's
tell
like,
you-
I'm a junior. Now I got to figure out what I'm doing. And then senior year, it's like, fuck that. I'm a senior. I'm not doing anything.
and then like you go try to get a job, you're like, I have no marketable skills, and I've done
Yeah.
4 years of college. I have no experience to do anything.
It's like there's millions of people graduating college every year, and there's like 1,000 jobs out there.
And
Like,
it's
you
weird.
do the math.
It's basically you have to take out a mortgage basically to get ahead in life.
Yeah.
It's kind of a really bullshit. Like our country as a whole, just like everything that's essential in life is the most exploited parts of, like, that's where everyone makes their money. Like, you need healthcare, people make billions of dollars off the sick people. You need education, people make billions of dollars off people being sick.
And like aside from like business, like getting like business degrees or Jesus, that was a fucking home run. Aside from getting like
Who hit a
business
home run?
degrees, fucking
Focus,
Sanchez,
Focus.
Yankees, they hit 2 and.
God, fuck.
But like aside from like business, like going to school to like for a business degree or something, like most of the bullshit that you're gonna major in, there's no jobs in that. Like, I'm gonna study humanities. Well, what the fuck are you gonna do with that? Oh, I'm gonna study anthropology. Yeah, because there's so many anthropology jobs out there.
The only jobs you get are teaching those shitty, like
Yeah,
being an
like
anthropology teacher.
I got a degree in criminal justice. I wanted to be like in the FBI or something, and then like 2 days into the curriculum, basically it's like, well, you either have to know somebody or you have to be in the military or you have to be a cop. It's like, well, I don't know anybody. I'm not joining the fucking military, and I don't want to be a cop. So what am I wasting my time here for?
Yeah.
My cousin just got into college. He's starting in I guess in September. He's going to Cooper Union, which is a really good engineering school, and he he got a full ride to it, which is pretty awesome. But he can either go into engineering or he can they have an arts program also. And people in my family were giving me shit because I was like, do engineering, and he's like, well, I'm not sure if I'm interested in engineering. I'm like, yeah.
You want to
but
make money?
I'm like, engineering will show the world you're really smart. Arts will show the world that you've no idea what the fuck you're doing.
Yeah, good job. What are you gonna be, an art? You gonna get a job as an artist?
I mean, like, engineer, you probably can get most jobs thereafter because they'll all be like, well, I know you're goddamn smart because you're an engineer, versus arts like, you're an English major. Well, you know what everyone's doing with an English major? They're writing shit for free online.
You know what everyone's doing with an English major? Speaking English.
Yeah, way to master the language we all speak.
Yeah.
The Doc's brother's an engineer, and he's already set for life.
The Doc's what?
Brother is an engineer.
Oh.
He's
What does he do?
I don't know. I just know he's an engineer.
He engineers.
Yeah. Yeah.
My stepbrother actually did it. He was a poli-sci major, and I guess like fucked around all the college, graduated. Like, he went to a good school, but did really shitty, and then like was kind of directionless for a bunch of years, and then decided like one day he's like, I'm going to be an engineer. He went to community college, then transferred to like I think like a good engineering college, but like nothing like amazing, nothing like super well known. But then ended up basically becoming a civil engineer, and now he has a really good job.
Yeah, I mean,
But he did it over at like age 28, which is probably when we all should go to college, when we're like mature enough to go.
yeah, I mean, like, when I went to grad school, I was in my 30s, and I actually paid attention and learned stuff. Also, college is pretty much a joke because Brian and I would party all night, and then I would get up to go to class and just get to class and then sleep on the desk. So literally I was just sleeping through class the entire time. And I didn't get great grades, but I passed all the classes, and it shouldn't be that easy.
You know what you should do? Here's what it should be like. You get your whole college tuition should be broken down like paying per class. And when you get to that class, you have to pay for that class. Like this class costs you $800, or just like each individual class. Like when you get there, it's $60. So you pay the guy $60, and then you go to sleep or you stay awake. You're fucking staying awake because you just paid $60 to be here today.
Yeah, and the same philosophy applies like when your alarm goes off and you're like, fuck that, I'm not going to class.
Yeah.
Like, well, you're paying either way, so.
But I mean, technically, you're paying with your tuition anyway.
Yeah,
I
but
guess
you
you
don't.
just
There's
see
no
it
like
more.
tangible like thing where you could see that. You know, the
If
bills
you're-
go to your parents.
Like if you're actually like paying the bill right there with like physical money, I bet you'd be like more careful about what you're
Like
doing.
swipe a card like when you walk in or something.
My-
Not swipe card, like take money out of your account, like just take physical money, because they say like every step you're removed from paying money, the more money you're willing to spend, and you care less about it.
Yeah.
Like credit
my
cards get
po-
you to naturally spend more money than giving cash.
My point is that undergrad is kind of a scam anyway. Like with grad school, I would not have passed if I was sleeping through classes. Like you just can't do that. But
Well,
with
it's also you're right, but it's also a joke, like the fact that like shouldn't you're going to school for 4 years and you have to start over again in grad school? Like how many degrees do you need? Like it's like an absurd like arms race for no apparent reason.
I didn't even need undergrad.
Right, exactly. You don't fucking need undergrad.
No, nothing
We're not-
applied. Nothing applied.
We're not learning jack shit, and like I learned jack shit in my undergrad. I was a business major. I could not have learned less, which probably also accounts to where I am. But I could not have learned less, basically.
Should we move on?
No, let's talk about this for the next half hour and make sure Jay fails his exam.
Eros writes, guys, are you glad President Trump is going to show in North Korea that we have a bigger dick? America, fuck yeah. There is your gender equality marks. About to go hear some Freebird by Leonard Skinner.
Do you think Trump would gain popularity or lose popularity if he actually took out his dick and said, "Check this out, North Korea"?
It would be the same as everything else he does. His supporters would be fine with it, and everyone else would be outraged.
Everybody like, "Oh my god, I can't believe he did that," and those supporters be like, "But guys, just do that. You're an asshole."
I don't see any pussy Obama wouldn't have done that.
Trump
Yeah.
has done an amazing job of convincing his people that the entire world is wrong and he's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's also, he said, like, there used to be some level of, like, this is the things you can and cannot do, the etiquette of being president.
Yeah.
And now it's all out the window. Now, hey, he put his balls on the table. Whatever. The whole North Korea, like, he, like, did a whole tirade against North Korea when he was supposed to be doing a speech about opioids and just, like, winged the whole thing.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm going to bring fire and fury to you. The world has never seen. And everyone's like, okay, what do we do with this now?
The only thing I really hope for is once the bombs start dropping, that like bunker that they have where all the like the politicians and stuff go. I just hope that it's not really bomb proof.
Are you like a little more scared that we're going to be on the verge of war with North Korea?
A little bit.
I'm not scared. I expect it to happen. I bet you it happens during the eclipse.
You would vote for it if we could like do an online poll?
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't vote for it. I would. I'm not rooting for it. I just think I think it's inevitable.
But
But I bet you it's gonna happen during the eclipse.
it's not tonight.
Next Monday.
Isn't what they say? They said on I heard on some show there was like the one part of it they said maybe his insane rant gets China to get more worried about Trump, and if China gets more worried, they'll put extra pressure on North Korea to get like a deal worked out, I guess, because China apparently has a lot more. China buys a lot of shit from North Korea, so China has a lot more weight because they actually like basically fundamentally make a huge difference in their economy. So if China wants to say like, hey, stop what you're doing or else we're going to stop buying your goods, North Korea actually has to listen, in theory.
Yeah, but they're not gonna do that.
Probably not.
Best two movies you've seen in 2017. No classics, new.
What
I've
was
only
that one?
seen-
Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
What was that one that I keep talking about, the Key and Peele one?
The Welcome or Run or something like that. That one.
Something about Run.
Scared?
Get out. Get out.
Get Out,
Get
yeah. Get Out was Get Out. You guys haven't seen that yet, or have you seen that?
No.
No. I've only seen 3 movies this year,
I've seen one.
so I have to pick 2 of them, I guess.
I've seen
Yeah,
0, so my list is easy.
Oh, I saw. You know what? I think I watched this year. I watched the cartoon, the Family Guy cartoon, the Sausage Party one.
That was last year.
Did I watch it last year or did I watch it this year?
I don't know. You tell me. But it came
I
out
don't-
last year.
Does that not count? What if I watched it this year? That doesn't count.
He said.
You know, I watched what's the Manchester by the Sea?
Yeah, I saw that. That was good.
That was depressing. It wasn't bad.
It was depressing, but it was good.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'll give you that.
That and the other movie I saw was Hell or High Water,
What's that?
which was really good. It was like it's a bank robbery movie. What's the guy's name? Chris Pine and Ben Foster. Is that a person?
Sure.
They're like 2 brothers, like living in like depressed like Texas area, and they're robbing banks to earn money because they got to pay off their mortgage. And then Jeff Bridges is a Texas Ranger who's like on their trail, and it was really cool. It had a good story. They had a good scheme.
Okay.
It was a little action, all the parts with Jeff Bridges were funny because he had this like Mexican like assistant that he just made racial jokes about the whole time. But yeah, no, it's pretty good. It's on Showtime if you get Showtime.
Okay. Actually, they gave me Showtime for the rest of the. For some reason, they gave me Showtime and Stars for the rest of the year for free.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, Hell or High Water.
They
Jay?
asked if I wanted it for a week for free. No, first they didn't even ask that at first. They called me up and they said we're going to activate Showtime for you. And they didn't say free or anything. I was like, no. And they're like, why not? And I'm like, because I don't want to pay more money. And they're like, yeah, but it's really good. So just say yes and we'll activate it. And I'm like, I just said no.
But was it like a free deal? Like were they going to shut it down at the end?
No, after I said no twice, he's like, all right, we'll give it to you free for a week. And I'm like, still no. If I see that on my bill, I'm going to be really pissed off.
I don't know. I just got an email like from Optimum. They're saying like you get it now through the end of the year. I think they're like I guess you'll like at some point. I don't even know if it said like it'll just be added to your bill at the end of the year or not. I guess I'll see if my bill goes up.
Usually that's what happens.
I'm sure they'll fuck me at some point. Yeah, that's probably like you just get used to having it, and like you'll get addicted to the channels, though. Yeah, I don't know. And they gave me faster internet, which I haven't known. They said they doubled my speed of my internet, but it's now exactly the same speed as it was before.
Yeah, same here.
I guess I have to go download more stuff to see how the downloads work. But like so far, I'm like, oh, I was watching Netflix before, and now I'm watching Netflix at the exact same. Nothing's changed at all.
Liam writes, Jason, do you know how to sell on eBay? I say it because I used to work for Nike Factory and I have like 80 pairs of shoes I'm trying to get rid of, but I'm looking for someone to sell them for me and go 50-50. I included pictures. If you don't, any tips on how to sell on eBay or if I should donate them for a tax receipt, how would you get rid of 80 pairs of shoes you don't need? I mean, I know how to sell on eBay. You could message the Brink page or email me. You need a lot of boxes. Shipping is going to be kind of expensive. But
Are you gonna go 50-50 with him?
I mean, I'd list them. That's fine.
That would be I would love to see Jay get into business with one of our Brink listeners.
I mean,
If you hang on,
What could go wrong?
I have a better idea. I have a much better idea. On every sneaker, we're gonna write the words New York Knicks podcast, and Brink of Sanity, and then we're gonna sell them on the show.
yeah, autographed Brink shoes. I'm sure that'll raise the value of your shoes.
And again,
Send the first pair to Tommy D.
if you want to buy a Brink of Sanity shoe, let us know your size. Hopefully, we have your size. Can't believe we're selling this every fucking week.
They were worth $100, but then Mark and Jay scribbled on them, so we'll see what that does for it.
Just sign someone else's name and say they're autographed.
Haven't
Say
you
they're
always?
signed by like Lonzo Ball or something.
Haven't you always wanted? Jay, why don't we make our own sneakers for the show?
Liam writes, what did he write? What is the best bargain you have ever got, not counting free items?
Best bargain?
Bargain.
What's better than free?
Will they pay you? So my mom growing up, little backstory of my life. My mom was really big into coupons at the
Yeah, mine
supermarket.
too.
Like not even like really big into it. Like she would hand them like more coupons than items that she would have. Like, and she would find like the clerks at the grocery clerks at the place that seemed like who gave the least shit about their jobs, basically. And she'd have like $150 bill down to like $2. And there were a couple of times where they gave her money back.
She was an
Because she had
extreme
somebody-
couponer.
She
Wow.
was an extreme couponer.
Before that
she
was like a
probably
thing.
she could have had her own show basically. But she
And my mom was good at that stuff too.
yeah, so she would give like an insane like I guess now they check to make sure you actually have all the items. And once in a while people would call her out, but for the most part she'd have this huge stack and the person would be like, do. Okay, here's $12 for buying all those groceries. Thank you. Yeah. That was so I'd say that's not my best bargain, but I'm going to give my mom's best bargain. Getting paid to take groceries was it happened a couple of times, and I think that would be a high level bargain. You could also call that theft in some way,
I
if
bought
you want to be technical.
when the Nets were in Jersey. I bought a ticket to go see them for like $20, I think. And then they called me the next week and said, since I'm such a good customer, they're going to give me 2 free tickets. So I got to see 2 games for $20. I mean, it was the Nets, but it's still.
I guess when I won my trip to Mexico, I got I originally won that. It was 4 days, 3 nights, 3 days, 4 nights, and then they said they liked my reaction on the radio when I won, so they offered me a week. And all I had to do was to pay the taxes, which was like $100. So I went from a free trip, which would have cost me like $50 in taxes, so I went to like $100, and I got a week in Mexico with Jay.
I was studying abroad. I was studying abroad in Australia, and we were staying in like this went to this place for like spring break, and they had this like whole crew of like this German crew of people staying there, and it fucked up their whole reservations. And they basically took us in these. I think we were basically like paying $100 a night, and they put us in $900 a night rooms because they had no place to put us. And
That's what that happened to us, Jay.
Yeah.
In Florida, remember?
Yep.
Yeah, so that was
we
pretty
went
cool.
there and our room was empty, and they're like, we have to send you to a hotel like miles down the road, but they like upgraded us and give us this huge
Yeah, it was like a
suite.
condo, like with like bedrooms and a kitchen and shit.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
a sweet place. I was on that bunk bed. I thought it was a coffin.
Okay, 5-minute warning, guys. Then I gotta go.
Well, why don't you read the questions faster, Jay?
What is a good solution for lower back pain? Lots of
Um,
stretching and heat.
Stretching and heat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is Donald Trump a good? This is from Eros. Is Donald Trump a good president or the greatest? Haha! I love it when America shows its power and reactions. People who hate America like Mark have.
Okay, I'm gonna say the opposite of everything he just said.
Was there
Go
a
on.
question in there? Or?
The topics are questions, so that's his topic. Is
Oh, all right.
Donald Trump the greatest president of all?
No.
Jaime writes, what have you guys been up to lately? I think we covered that at the beginning of the show. If you were reincarnated as an animal, what animal would you be?
Bear. Polar bear.
You're like a
Bear
big-
would be kind of cool because you really you get to eat whatever you want and then like sleep for 6 months and then you're like thin again.
you're
I
like a
love
big-
bears. I'd love to be a bear.
Then I could say you're like a big bear, man.
Yeah. Fucking bears are all. Everyone's scared of bears.
What
You're
kind of
just-
what kind of
you're
bear
fucking
would you be?
huge.
You want to be a polar bear or a grizzly bear?
Probably a polar bear.
I
I kind of like the polar bear thing.
Just chilling in the water, eating fish.
And I feel like you might get like picked up by like a zoo and like but like a nature center and
Yeah.
like people will like be really into you because you're bear but you're white and people like white
Yeah.
people are better, right?
Yeah. You're not a black bear. You're a white bear.
Yeah, the black bear like you never see like a big like
They're
people
always
make a big
getting
deal.
shot. They're always in
Yeah.
neighborhoods getting shot.
No one gives a shit about the black bears, but the white bears, everyone just like goes out of their way. Like they're like, wow, it's a white bear.
I would probably be a cat. They sleep like 70% of the day, and they just eat and play. It's not bad.
What if you came back reincarnated as your cat? So you have to live with the black mold and like cockroaches, But would you be down for that, Jay, to be your own cat?
I don't have any more cockroaches.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah.
Would you? What about the loud neighbors? Like, would that be like some kind of like twisted, like you got your wish, but you
Oh yeah, my downstairs was quiet for like 6-7 months. Then they remembered they had a terrible bass system, and the last couple of days they've been back to it. So that's been fun.
That's awesome. That must be helping for the studying.
Yeah. Have the floor shaking. It's awesome. Best place to eat in the suburbs and in the city.
Best place to eat in the suburbs.
The pot truck.
Yeah, there you go. You can get the worst live hops possible. Does he want like a restaurant in the suburbs?
Yeah.
What kind of? I mean, I guess like just a general meal. Probably in the suburbs, like Italian food or American food. Everything else is kind of like mediocre.
Yeah. It's hard to get good at anything else in the suburbs.
In the city, I don't know, Thai food, because I can't get good Thai food in the suburbs.
Jaime writes, always have to plug the New York Knicks podcast because you guys are awesome and the Mets are stupid with the trades and such. So if you're
Thank you, Jaime.
If you're only a Brink fan and you didn't know, we have a Knicks podcast called the New York Knicks podcast.
We took a long time to come up with that name. We hired consultants to kind of work on it. Yeah, it's a good name, right?
I like it. Rosero writes, what is the most depressed you've ever been and what got you through it?
The love of Jay. What's the most depressed you've ever been?
It was either...
Was it earlier this week when you had the mental breakdown?
I was going to say it was either this week or it was when I got suspended from undergrad for a year. What got me through it? I don't know. I'll let you know when I get through this.
For me, it was probably like the past 10 years, and we're not through it yet. So,
What is the most sick you've ever been, and what medicine healed you?
What's the most sick I've ever been?
I had mono pretty bad.
From that whore?
I had mono for a month, and I didn't know it until it was over.
How do you not know it?
I don't know. I went to the doctor. The first day I started feeling shitty was the Monday before Thanksgiving. So I went home for Thanksgiving and I went to the ER, and they said I had swollen glands. So they didn't do anything. Went back to school, felt like shit for like 3 weeks. Took my finals, came home. First day after I was home, went to the doctor, and he's like, the bad news is you have mono. The good news is you've suffered through the worst parts of it. Yeah. I was like, oh, okay. I remember one day going into the quad at after my 8 o'clock class, so it was like 10 after 9, and I sat down on a bench, and I didn't leave the bench till like 4 o'clock.
Holy
I
shit.
just couldn't move.
I get migraines. I don't get them that often lately anymore, but when I get them, they can be pretty rough. For a couple hours, your head just hurts you severely.
Yeah, I don't think I've had a really bad illness yet. What is the best place you have traveled to? Mine's obviously Japan.
Thailand's up there for me. I freaking love Thailand. Are you going to say, when you say Japan, do you mean the 7-Eleven in Japan or the whole country?
No, the 7-Eleven in Thailand was
Or
better
the
than
panty
the
vending
Japan
station.
My favorite place, I love Costa Rica so much. That could be up
Where haven't you been? Jeez.
I have not been to a lot of places, but I've probably been more. I think I've been more places than you guys.
Yeah, sounds like it.
What's your favorite place, Bri?
I guess Aruba. It was nice, but it was boring. But it was really nice.
Do you think how much time could you spend there? It's beautiful. How much time if you could go back there? How long of a trip would you want?
I think we went for a week.
Wait, so your favorite?
So maybe what?
Your favorite place was boring?
Yeah, that's what I think is funny.
Well, it was nice. It's beautiful, like the beach and stuff. but like, I don't know. I was also like 20, so.
Paradise sucks.
You know, I got bad sunburn, but I haven't really
God.
traveled to many places, so I don't know. Oh, you know, it was really nice. Well, I mean, I was only there for the day. I didn't really spend any time there, but I went to Lake Tahoe. That was really nice.
That's supposed to be really nice. Why were you there for a day?
Well, last summer I went on vacation with my girlfriend. We went to Vegas for 3 days.
Got it.
Then we flew to Sacramento. I mean, San Francisco. We spent a day in San Francisco, like an afternoon, just like down by the water and stuff. Then we drove to Sacramento. We stayed with her cousin. We were there for like 4 or 5 days, and we took like day trips. We went to Napa one day, then we went to Lake Tahoe one day.
Did you like those places? Or were you like,
Yeah, no,
Napa blows?
No, Napa was nice. Napa was cool, and in Lake Tahoe was cool. It was like just, it was cool because it was so like I didn't realize that it was like in the mountains. Like I knew it was a huge lake, but I didn't realize it was like a huge lake in the fucking mountains, like so high up. So when we got there, it was October, and it was, you know, it was sort of like in between, like the summer season ended, and it wasn't quite like skiing weather and stuff, but it was really nice. I mean, it's way out of my price range, but I'd love to like go stay there for like a week.
I've never been there, but I've heard it's like really beautiful.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Did you hit the wineries in Napa?
Yeah, we bounced around to a couple of them.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, no, Napa actually, Napa was pretty nice.
Jay, are there more questions?
Almost done. This is from Eros. I just got my new 2017 MacBook Pro. I finally know what it feels like to be Mark Kaplan type of rich. Now I just need to buy water and napkins from Whole Foods and vacation every month, and I'll be just like Nurk. Andrew writes, has the black mold in Jay's house tried to kill him yet? Probably. I'm probably going to find out I have something terrible. What's the biggest yelling match you've ever had with a stranger on the street?
This wasn't on the street, but I remember I was getting like a new Time Warner. It was Time Warner cable box, and I was waiting for I think I had to like either return mine or get a new one or something. I had to go down to the place for, and I'm waiting. I'm standing in. There's like a TV in front of me, and this guy just steps in front of me and changes the channel, and I'm like, "Hey, I was watching that," and he was just like an asshole immediately about it. He was like, well, yeah, well, now I'm watching something. And I was like, and he wasn't like a big guy or anything. I'm like, not that I'm gonna like fight with the guy, but he was just like, I was like, well, what the hell? Like, I was watching this. What the hell are you doing? He's like, you didn't look like you were watching it. And we got into like a verbal like a fight there, I guess. It wasn't like close to like exchanging blows, but it was quite uncomfortable. Basically, he was like, fuck off. I don't know. Like, am I gonna fight the guy at Time Warner because he changed the channel? But it was just weird. Like, what would you do in that situation? Like, the guy's like, you're watching something, and I could see I was also holding a newspaper, and I wasn't really like watching it closely, and so I could see how him being confused. But he wasn't like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize. He was just like a real dick about it.
Right,
Couldn't you
right.
change the channel back?
He was standing in front of me, so I guess I could have gone around him and like done that. But it was just like he was like, well, fuck off. Basically, he's like, he was trying to fight. Like he was just like I was like, I was like really, really upset about it for like at least the next hour. But I was like, this is like the fucking most moronic thing I'm annoyed about. I'm like, I kind of want to like fight this guy, but I'm also like, don't want to go to jail for no stupid reason. Would you get into an actual fist fight with someone over them being rude to you on the street? Or like in that situation, like or in a store or something like that.
No, fist fighting is so stupid.
I mean, it's the fucking dumbest thing you could do.
I haven't gotten into many yelling matches. Maybe the bum who I bought a huge bag of Doritos for, and he wouldn't eat it. He wouldn't even
You're a
accept it.
bum! Eat your Doritos! God damn it, bum!
That's pretty much what I said. I said, you're a goddamn bum. Of course you want Doritos.
But I have high blood sugar and I need nutritious stuff. Doritos are bad for me. Eat your fucking Doritos!
I mean, he just wanted alcohol.
Oh, clearly. Maybe he just wanted a job, Jay. Maybe you should have gotten him a job.
And Andrew writes, are you guys still coming to Sydney for the 300th episode?
I like that idea better than yours, Bri.
Oh.
Or what if we do the? We make fun of each other in Australia.
Mark just wants to go on his 7th vacation for the year.
Yeah.
Andrew, will you pay for us to go to Australia?
I like how Moneybags likes the idea that cost us $7,000 to do.
Well, when are we gonna raise money for it?
Well, we'll see what happens when we get Patreon on. And last question, Rosero writes, guys, when Bri commits suicide and tells you he wants to live stream it so it can go viral and you guys would have millions of downloads, would you let him?
Bro, Bri, first off, if you're gonna kill yourself, would you do it on the show?
Depends how I do it, but maybe.
Because that'd be kind of selfish of you, like, not to do it on the show.
That's what I'm saying. Like Chris Cornell or that Chester guy, they should have just did it on stage.
Has anyone ever killed themselves on TV?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The dude from the Hey Man, Nice Shot by Filter.
The guy from Filter's dead?
No. The song that song Hey Man, Nice Shot's about a guy who killed himself, I think, on TV.
Oh.
He was like a senator or something from Maine. I think it was Maine.
Yeah, he killed himself live on TV.
There's plenty of people who accidentally kill themselves like on YouTube and Instagram and stuff, which I love. Like I can't get enough of that.
Yeah.
I don't remember too many people. Like I know people. I know like wrestlers have like killed themselves accidentally on TV. Oh, here it is. The song was written about the January 22nd, 1987 public suicide of Pennsylvania State Treasurer Bud Dwyer.
Yeah,
Dwyer had been convicted of bribery charge in 1986, was expected to receive a long sentence. Professing his innocence and decrying the legal system, Dwyer shot himself with a Magnum during a press conference. Holy shit. But was it on TV, though?
Most of that stuff usually is.
I guess it probably was, yeah. It sounded like it was...
All right, so I'm glad we ended on a happy note. Thank you for
So,
listening,
Bri,
everybody.
so Jay, look, here's the question, Jay. If Bri said it'll probably get you millions of downloads, would you let him kill himself on the show? Do you want to think about it for next episode?
Yeah, we'll leave the show on a cliffhanger.
Okay, cool.
It probably won't be the 300th episode. Maybe
I guess,
400.
I guess everyone has to listen to like a lot of the every episode. You don't like every episode will have like a will this be the episode Bri kills himself? Find out from downloading.
And maybe 400, but not 300. That's a little soon. What number is this?
281.
We have 19 episodes to go until we have to actually think of an idea. Well, 18 episodes, and then we have to think of an idea.
So that's like 8. So that's like 4 months.
That's a long time. Should we do these? Should we do the 300 episodes? Should we record it ahead of time at the game on Thursday?
Sure.
Let's make this one the. Can we make the 300th episode all the stuff Jake cut out of the other two?
All right.
The
Thanks
lost
for listening.
episode. If you want to listen to it, you have to subscribe, and the money goes to charity.
It's a very personal charity, so we'll
It's very
never tell you.
personal charity. Yeah.
We'll never tell you what the charity is, unless we get to know you really well. Unless what is it? Unless you're not fake.
Not anonymous
anonymous.
and a legitimate person.
If you're a legitimate person, I'll let you know.
Listen, I'm not anonymous, but I'm definitely not a legitimate person. So.
All right. So thanks for listening, everybody. We will be back soon. And I guess that's it, right?
Come to the Met game, Jay. Come to the dark side.
Where should I meet you at the game? Are you gonna be?
I might be able to email you a ticket.
Goodbye, everybody. It's all over. Goodbye. It's time to go. This is the end. Say goodbye.